Oh, hi, this is the analysis of Nathaniel. Quick video, I'm talking about motion blur in games, motion blur. So it's like when you're moving and there's a blur, there's a really bad blur in it, you know? And I guess there is motion blur in this one because there is also this game because there is a breakage of animations, right? So motion blur, again, motion blur can be very annoying. You guys, subscribe, subscribe, share the video, please. Subscribe button mark down there. Please press on it if you're new. So anyways, here now, we're looking now at motion blur. Um, it can be very annoying. It makes the game almost unplayable. It makes it very unplayable. I can make the game very visually unappealing. It's like, oh, like, oh. It makes you want to look away from the game. And it's not a good feeling. You don't want that feeling after a game. Yeah. Sometimes though, you can change it via settings. So settings will make it so on a newer games like for this to turn motion blur off. So motion blur is completely off. Because motion blur basically is like the faster I move, the worse the graphics get, the frame rate drops, and the emotion like everything like around it just looks blurry. It looks very like off-putting and bad, like really, really, really bad. Crisis 3, I recently got Crisis 3. I played the first 30 minutes of the game. I couldn't play anymore because like this is so bad. This is like probably the best example of motion blur. Like, my gosh, No, you're like a cyborg, right? So you have your own type of robotic type vision that gives you, a holographic schematics of the environment, enemies nearby, and a tactical, like a different type of approaches of stealthy versus head-on. But the problem is that most of the screen is gonna look like a light blue. It's gonna be like a light blue saturation onto the screen. But like when you move, it's like, oh my gosh, it's blur. It's a blurry. It's almost this can trigger dizziness. I feel I was I was almost dizzy playing the game. Like I had to turn off the game completely. It was so bad. It was really, really, really bad. Like the gun and it's first person, right? Like Call of Duty. Like you're I'm moving through the areas, and I'm not sure if you play the game more, the motion blur will go away. Because when I was playing it, it was a darker night environment. We were indoor, outdoor. It was kind of raining a little bit, but man, Jesus, it looks so bad. It looked really, really bad. It is an older game, 2013, 14, I guess. So, yeah, my gosh. So yeah, motion blur, and again, it can. There are warnings. Most games will have a warning in its manual. Like games don't even come with much manuals now, but most of them will come with some sort of ESRB, like the game rating system. Usually here, like if you open up the case of a game, no, not case, but the folder, and then like it'll say seizure warning, seizure disorientation, and all that. It'll like warn you about certain things about playing the game. I guess it's some sort of eye coordination to TV. I don't know, like frame rate or whatever. Your eyes having trouble adjusting to the game picture or frame rate or something like that. And yeah, with the bad motion blur, I think it can activate things like dizziness or just overall like your eye twitches, or I just feel blurry. Like you want to close your eyes, you don't want to look at it, or some sort of light sensitivity. That can be very annoying, really, really annoying. And the faster your character moves, the more motion blur is. Thor, for example, Thor in Avengers can fly. Upon playing the game, playing the game first time, like I play as Thor, right? He's the first character, Thor, Iron Man. Then those characters fly, and then like when they fly through the sky, you can really see the motion blur because it's a fast flight. It can get really, really annoying. It's really annoying and off-putting. I had to look away. But this one gives you the option. Since it is a newer game last year, it does have its separate. I can tell it's mostly a game built for a PC with all the settings, right? So you can I turn off the motion blur completely, so the game does get better. But with the more, and again, the faster you move, the more motion blur, right? Because frame rate or whatever. But there's also the more enemies on screen, the more motion blur there is. the more motion blur. Same with this Cyberpunk 2077. Again, another game from last year, you know. So yeah, it can be very annoying. And the good thing is that motion blur, I don't see it much in games. It's not much in games. It was in this one heavily. As a kid, I didn't really recognize it, but now, as I'm more, knowledgeable about it, I can see, like it's more visible, like it's more easy to notice. Midnight Club 3. This is the after 2, so this is the remix of 3. And not a bad game though. Pretty good game, but the blur. You drive so fast, the buildings will look so blurry. No texture at all, nothing. It looks so bad. The cars around you, the environment look bland, the road will look blurry, It's almost like an environmental textures couldn't keep up with. It's an older game, understandable, but my gosh, it couldn't keep up with the animations and the movement and speed and all that, Same thing to Midnight Club. I'm not as bad in this. Actually, not as bad in this still, but still slightly there. But the worst example is Crisis 3. Crisis 3, they needed to. I don't know if it's the same on 360 or because I'm playing on PS3. That might be it. It was so bad playing like the first 30 to 40 minutes. My gosh, I play tons of first-person shooting games like Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Gears of War is not first-person. That's another first-person game. Titanfall 2 or what have you, and none of those games have motion, I could actually look at those games. The games are clear. They're clear as a crystal clear, there's no motion blur at all. A little to no motion blur. This one has it. Jesus. My gosh. This is a 3D option. I guess if I played it in 3D, which I don't know if I have that. It might go away. But yeah. And so like with all of that, I can make the game really annoying. You can really mask. You can really put up like this kind of a blurred screen that no. I can kind of mask a good game in that the overall game I could be good, but because there's this motion blur barrier in the way, it really takes you like out of the game, So it's like a barrier. It acts like a barrier. The game I could be good at, but you can't tell because there's this motion blur, And yeah, so I don't know if. And the more I play the games that, for example, this one too has it too. It's not as bad, right? I guess because I'm playing on the older gen, right? So, PS5 or PC would probably be improved now, but yeah. But anyways, that's emotion blur in games. Again, like, subscribe, share the video. Please share the video. Make a video every 2 to 3 days. But on weekends, I make like 4 videos on the weekends. 3 to 4 videos. So please, you guys know. Thank you.